Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. This tutorial is for the busy moms out there. I am personally in a very new phase of life. I just had a baby about 2 months ago, my second baby, so I've got a toddler and a newborn, and my makeup routine has cut into thirds basically. Because of that, I don't have as much time as I did even a few weeks ago. And even if you're not a busy mom, this is for the moments where you just don't have time to get ready, but you want to feel a little bit more polished, a little more like yourself. It's a nice way to boost your confidence, even if you're a stay-at-home mom like I am. To be honest, I really don't leave the house, but this is for myself. It's to take care of myself. I feel more put together, and it's not too harsh, not overdone. It's just right, and it's only using a few products, and I can do this in 5 minutes. I can do this with my newborn strapped to me in a carrier, so it's a very easy, foolproof tutorial. I'm genuinely like on a time crunch while I'm filming this. I've got to get back to my newborn and my toddler very shortly. So before sitting down, I prep the skin with my RAVIE Beauty Signature Skin Dream Barrier Cream. I honestly designed this to work as part of your skincare routine, and then that way you're already prepped for makeup. I feel like the best prep for makeup is a good skincare routine. So because I've already got this on, you can see it gives such a beautiful glow and bounce to the skin. So we don't need to use a primer, which is nice. Anywhere that you can kind of cut steps, I'm all about, which is why this is literally phenomenal and has come in so handy, especially postpartum. I already loved it before, but it's such a multitasking product for me that it just does everything that I want. Obviously, I made it to do everything that I want. Next, we're gonna do just something to even out the complexion. I have been using this on a daily basis, whenever I do my makeup anyway. I'm back on the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Moisturizer. The thing I love about this is how lightweight it is. It gives me a nice amount of coverage, but never makes me feel like I'm wearing a full, face of makeup, which for this look, that's kind of what I'm going for. I just want something that's gonna make me feel a little more fresh, help me look a little more awake, even out my skin tone, and just elevate my natural features a notch. I'm not trying to go super intense with my entire makeup look for this, and I really love how this doesn't have too much coverage, so I can slap this all over the face really easily, whether I'm using my fingers or a brush. It's just a really good busy mom type of a complexion product, and it's something that I've loved and I've kept in my routine for over a decade. I literally started using this whenever it launched, which was years ago, over 10 years ago. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it has to be. And it has stood the test of time. I love the glow that it gives my skin, but it never looks or feels greasy, which is always what I look for personally. I do like to take my sponge and just tap things in out of habit. So I usually just keep a sponge on my desk so that it's really easy for me to just slap these products on and keep going. So after that, I like to add a little bit more coverage with a concealer that has maybe slightly more coverage than what I've been using. I've been actually reaching for this Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place concealer like crazy. I think because it has like a nice wide applicator, so it makes it so easy for me to just slap it on. I just do this basically, just do underneath the eyes, a little bit on the chin. We'll do a little bit on the forehead, and then a little bit right here because I do get some redness there. Kind of just focusing on the center of the face so that it gives a little bit more of like an airbrushed effect. And then I'll just take my BK Beauty A506 brush and literally just start to blur out the center of the face. And I feel like this is the part that kind of makes me feel a little more done up and put together, because the Complexion Rescue from Bare Minerals just lightly evens out the skin tone. This gives me a little bit more of like a, ooh, she's polished vibe, but it actually looks really skin-like, even though it gives quite a nice amount of coverage. I like to just kind of blend this out all over. And I also like to use whatever's left on the brush on the eyelid to conceal any veins. I've got quite a bit of discoloration there. A lot of people do, so if you're following along, that's just something that I like to do. And then again, I hop back into my sponge and just press things down into the skin. The area that I feel like I can cut back a lot of time in is actually bronzer. So typically if I have a little more time, I actually love doing a liquid bronzer and a powder bronzer, even on an everyday basis. But again, I don't have the time to do that. most often these days. So I skip that step, and instead, to give me like a little bit of a healthy sun-kissed vibe, I like to do a little freckle pen. Now this is optional, but I do like to include it in this routine because for me, it helps me feel a little bit more, I don't know, youthful. There's something like effortless about it. It also adds like a slight contour around the nose. So I just like to kind of tap it on and then press it in with my finger. This is the Beaubble and RudiBerry freckle pen. Again, this is completely optional, but it is something that I still do include. It's just easy to add, and I think it makes a big difference, at least for me. After that, I love to powder, and I always use my Huda Beauty powder. What's new? For me, I like the shade Cupcake. So we're gonna take this. I love using the Nikki LaRose N14 brush. This is from her first collab with BK Beauty. I've been dying to try her second collab, you guys. It's literally sitting right there for me to film with. I haven't opened it yet, and I have just been dying to try it because it launched when I was on maternity leave. So I haven't been able to test them out yet, but this is one of my favorite brushes ever. It's from her first collaboration with BK Beauty, and it's just phenomenal. So you'll see I just use a little bit of powder to set the concealer under the eyes. I focus this mostly in the T-zone, but I do like to take a fluffy brush, which I'll do in just a second, to just lightly set the outsides of the face because I do like to go in with powder blush after that, so I don't like things skipping around, you know? Plus, it adds longevity. For me personally, like, if I'm gonna bother doing my makeup, especially postpartum, even if it's a light look, I want it to last. So for me, that means powder. Now for the star of the show. This has always been the star of the show for me. This is from my brand RAVIE Beauty. It's my Endless Diffusion Baked Blush in the shade Paradise. And this has been a part of like a 5-minute face routine in the past for me, but like postpartum, as a busy mom, this is a non-negotiable. This is really what does it for me. This is like 3 products in one for me. It's a blush, it's like a bronzer, and it also has a little bit of a glow. So for me, it's enough to be a highlighter almost. I just like to take that with the blush brush, which I designed to go with this blush formula. And we literally just start to scribble this all over the face. So I like to go starting on like the outsides of the face, onto the cheeks. I like to get it kind of like underneath the eyes a bit, and I just start swirling it. It's a baked formula, so it really melts into the skin and gives you a creamy kind of a finish. You can see it has a nice luminosity to it, but it's not sparkly. I made sure to tell the manufacturer and the lab that I worked with when making this, I didn't want sparkles. I just wanted that lit from within kind of a glow, and that's exactly what this does. I also just scribble it onto the eyelid. I can't be bothered with eyeshadow when I'm genuinely in a rush and in a pinch trying to do a super quick look. I use this as bronzer basically, so I dust a bit of this on the forehead, and it might seem like kind of funny because it is like a mauvey pink color, but for me and my skin tone, I feel like it kind of works because when I'm out in the sun, it actually, my skin kind of turns more pink than bronze. So I love to use it all over the face, even on the chin. And this is what I feel like makes the biggest difference in my entire mom routine, just because it adds that color and that health back into my skin in a really quick way with literally just one product. So I just scribble it all over the face like that. Next, I personally can't be without a defined brow. This is my Holy Grail brow pencil, also from RAVIE Beauty. I created this to be the best everyday brow pencil, and for me it is. This is our Easy Everyday Brow Pencil. It's so effortless. Like every product that I create, I try to make really effortless and foolproof and just something that actually works and actually stands the test of time. Forget about the trends, you know, we just want some classic products that work really well. Of course, I love innovating a bit with the formula, or in this case, it was the size of the pencil. I love this pencil. It's just perfection. I use the shade Dark Brown. I feel like brows are what take me the longest in any makeup look, but especially in like a 5-minute face. Some people have more brow hairs than I do, so you might be able to just get away with a little bit of brow gel, like a tinted brow gel or a clear one, depending on your natural brows. I personally don't have too much of a shape without penciling it in, so I'd rather spend my time here than on like eyeshadow or bronzer, you know what I mean? Another little hack, if you're somebody who doesn't have a like freckle pen, but you want a little bit of freckles, I actually love taking my brow pencil. Now I would suggest doing this after powder if you do this versus before, and just like lightly kind of stamp and twist your brow pencil and it makes cute little freckles as well. So if you want to kind of cut down another product, that's another trick that I love to do with our brow pencil. It's really cute. Next, I just pop on a little bit of mascara. Today I'm going to use the Maybelline Lash Sensational, and I like to focus just a bit of that on like the top lashes mostly, but I personally am a lower lash mascara kind of a gal, so I do pop a bit of that on the lower lashes as well. All right, for lips, I feel like my lips have just been so dry here in Utah, so I actually already prepped my lips earlier. It's part of my skincare routine with my RAVIE Beauty Lip Renewal Treatment Oil. So I'm just wiping off the excess of that. And I've actually been going in with this lip liner. This is from RAVIE Beauty as well. This is our Soft Definition Longwear Lip Liner in the shade Fig, which is a beautiful kind of a mauve color. Now, I designed this to be something that you could use on an everyday basis. If you didn't want like a more stark lip line, you can draw it on and blur it out with your finger. And then once this sets down, it has such longevity to it, which is why I've been loving it for like my mom routine, because I love a good defined lip, but I can't really do a full-on lip combo. I could, but it's just not practical for like every day with a newborn and a toddler when I'm just at home. But for me, I need something on the lips to feel like myself. So sketching on a bit of this has been my favorite. You can like kind of color in the lips if you'd like, which I will also do a little bit. And then I'm just gonna let that kind of sit for a second. Isn't it the prettiest color? I think it's so nice. I've been wearing just Lip Renewal Treatment Oil on top of that, just a little bit, just to give that shine and hydration. It's just comfortable on the lips. And that's what I'm looking for these days. It's just comfort and practical routines that like make sense for me right now in this phase of my life. Okay, I'm just gonna assess things a little bit. I feel like we've got enough bronzer, enough paradise all over. And you'll see how it just kind of like subtly defines the outside of my face, gives me a bit of color, but it's not, there's no harsh lines, there's no like foundation streaks, there's nothing orangey or, you know, tones that don't flatter me. So a bronzer that like suits your skin is gonna be key for this look. Honestly, you guys know how much I love a setting spray. I have been skipping it 90% of the time because usually I've got my baby strapped to me, so I don't really like to spray setting spray while he's literally right here. So usually I'll stop there and I'll just finish with, you know, a brow gel. I did want to throw this in case you don't have a child strapped to you, then I would do a setting spray if you're following along. I've been loving this Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Liquid Blurring Balm. The way that this makes my skin look like a filter in real life, it's crazy. It's like really good for oily skin, but it blurs everything and it's so beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face with this. It's such a good setting spray. I picked it up during the Sephora sale and I'm so glad I did. I had heard so many good things about it. And then I like to press any setting spray into the skin with my sponge. You could go in with a glowy setting spray if you want to, but honestly, like that blush gives me enough glow and I sweat like crazy. I don't know, like postpartum, I feel like my body temperature is, I'm always running warm, so I'm always sweating. So I personally like to go for something a little more blurring and mattifying these days. But if you're the opposite, you can totally choose a setting spray that like caters to whatever finish you want. And then I'm going to go ahead and set the brows. Today I'm just going to use the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter just to lock my little brows in place, because they like to have a mind of their own. And again, for me, brows are still like one of the most important things. I feel like I can skip a few other products and feel like myself, but if I don't have my brows done, I don't feel all the way like myself. So for me, I need a brow gel to lock things in like that. And there you have it, you guys. This is my mommy makeup. This is what I've been doing whenever I do my makeup. Even if I'm just staying at home, for me, it makes me feel more polished. I've noticed the days that I do get dressed and get ready, even if I don't feel like it, really helps me be a little more productive because I am a stay-at-home working mom. I work from home as well. So it's nice to kind of have something that feels like I can cross between those two worlds pretty effortlessly. I don't feel overdone for my mom life and I don't feel underdone for my work life, you know what I mean? So to me, this is the perfect routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it's helpful to any of you guys who are busy moms and you're just looking for a solid routine to get you through the days, or if you're just busy in general. Honestly, you don't even have to be a mom to be busy. It's a busy life out there, isn't it? So if you're just trying to keep up, or if you don't have much time to get ready in the morning, or maybe you want to sleep in a little bit more and not spend as much time on your makeup some mornings, this is a great type of routine to do. I'll have all the products listed and linked for you guys in the description box down below. But yeah, I'm so excited about this look. It's been my signature. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Speaking of exciting videos, stay tuned for my next video, you guys. It's gonna be a fun one. We've got some really exciting things coming for RAVIE Beauty, so buckle up. I am so excited to share what I've been working on behind the scenes. We've got something really great coming so soon, and you'll be able to see everything about it very soon. So stay tuned for that. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.